It's not always embedded in the strategy, and this is a point I'm trying to make. Business intelligence should be embedded in the corporation's strategy. So it's about architecture. It's about architecting your strategy. It's about architecting your worldview. It's about thinking how you will act upon things that happen in the environment. So what I'm going to talk a lot about is strategy today. That's also the title of this presentation, so that's a no-brainer, of course. Let's take the bottom three here. Mission critical and integral to an enterprise's operations, or occasional to meet a special requirement. The latter I would call a study. You have an ad hoc question, you do a study, you dig through the data, you do a market research, you do a telephone interview, whatever. That's something occasional. But if there's some routine to be found in there, then you might add it to your mission critical and integral to your enterprise's operations, and then it becomes part of your architecture, because then you're talking about definitions. What do we mean by customers? Could you give me a definition of what is a customer, sir?
Someone you deliver your goods to.
You deliver your goods to. Okay, that's a definition. Any other definitions?
Somebody you send an invoice to.
Somebody you send an invoice to. I think that's a logistics definition, that's a financial definition.
It's your means of existence.
Yep, yep.
Pain in the ass.
Any other definition of what a customer is? Excuse me?
Pain in the ass.
A pain in the ass. Okay.
King. Customer is king.
You ask your opinions.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, what this very short survey demonstrates is there are many definitions of an entity like customer. If you take the marketing definition, it's even more difficult. Is it somebody who hasn't ordered anything for the last 5 years, for instance? Or is it somebody who is entirely new? Is it somebody who has ordered something but hasn't been shipped it and hasn't paid the invoice? Is he already a customer or not? Of course, the financial definition is clear. We got a record in our bookkeepings, and he received it. But wait a minute, Corporation A is a customer in our bookkeeping, but the guy who ordered the stuff, is he the customer or not? Well, the VAT number's there, but where's the customer? So it's very important you get a global and, let's say, a shared worldview of entities like customer, employee, organization, product. Oh my God, product. That's something else. Is it an SKU? Is it a set? Is it a combination? Is it a promotional offer? You can take it very far if you define stuff like that. And now comes the second line, enterprise-wide or local to one division, department or project. Yeah, okay. The scope can vary. You can start with a project and finally it will develop into a process and it will develop into an architecture. And it can be centrally initiated because you have a CEO with a vision, or it can be driven by user demand because people have problems and can't read their reports on time and don't find the proper information. That's a good reason. And now comes a question. You might be able to win a prize with this question, I'm not sure. Could you give me a very short and almost philosophical definition of what a project is? I have a project manager here before me. What is a project? But the simple definition, don't give me 20 sentences.
A project has got a start date and an end date.
It's got a start date and an end date. So is my life. Is my life a project? Yeah, maybe. No?
What's your deliverable in your life?
Excuse me?
What's the deliverable of your
I've got 2 kids.
Okay.
So it actually fulfills the business case, so
It already ended, so.
Yeah.
it provides outputs for some change.
It provides output for some change. That's a very nice definition. That's going in the direction. That might win a prize. Anybody who can top this one?
It's unique.
A simple definition, yes?
It is unique.
It's unique.
But
That's
I didn't
nice.
hear the,
We get it.
the previous one.
Oh, could you repeat it, please?
So a project provides outputs to provoke some change.
It's a very good one. That's,
It's a challenge or an approach to develop a solution.
Any others? Because time's ticking now.
It's a unique set of activities to deliver products with a given start dates and end dates.
That's too long, Mark. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry. I'll give you the book afterwards, but not for this question. No, not for this question.
But that's very close to the official definition.
Is it?
That's the PMI definition.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
The
I
team
know.
wants it
I know.
service.
I know. I know. But what I like to do is, and I'll get back to you in the presentation, is give simple but essential definitions so people in your organization understand what it's about. Because this is one of the things I see in many IT projects. You've got all this fluff and all this, well, big words, and then people don't understand your message. They just, well, it's verbalism. So I'm pleading, and you will see later on, I'm pleading for simple concepts which can be used in the entire organization. Stefan, go ahead.
It's a set of tasks
Yes.
and an approach to manage a team to achieve a goal.
It's okay, but yeah, don't.
Something to introduce change in your company, the strategical change.
Yeah. Yeah, you really want to win this book, eh? But I think he's the winner. I think he's the winner. Would you like another try? Sorry. Ooh, the tension is rising.
I think it's a mean to achieve a sponsor's objective.
Mean to achieve a sponsored objective. That's also a good one. I'll give you mine now. And maybe then you'll understand why he's probably the prize winner. It's so simple and it's so true. A project holds the middle between improvisation and routine. Take your time, take your time. Take your time. You earned it. Because if it's routine, you don't need to manage anything. You just optimize and just keep on doing it, right? If it's improvisation, you don't manage anything either. You just, well, you're in turmoil, the organization is under pressure, you have a crisis situation, everybody's improvising. A project, and let's take Prince, project in controlled environments. That's a very good abbreviation, by the way. You try to control as much as you can, but you allow slack for improvisation, for new things, for change, in effect. Because what else is the objective of the project than to provoke change in an organization? We'll get back to that later. Now, if you start a project, let's say you think of initiating a BI project, then I would say look for the dominant source. And the dominant source is driven by these 4 things, among others. There are more than 4, but they're difficult to describe and difficult to measure. These things can be measured. And they are reciprocal. I'll give you an example starting with leadership style. If you have a certain leadership style, you will probably look for an environment where your qualities will help you, where you will excel as a leader, right? But on the other hand, if the environment can force you to change your leadership style. If there's a crisis and you're a very democratic leader, you will probably become a very authoritarian leader, or you get sacked. That's another, yeah, because the board of directors doesn't believe you can make this change. That's what happens as well. But anyway, then the leadership style changes. The leadership style will influence the culture, and vice versa. The decision-making style, on which we'll get back to later, of course, if your management team is used to having long meetings and make sure that everybody's on board, and you're more of an autocratic leader, you will probably have to follow, because you'll not be in the loop anymore. They will keep you out of the loop. So yes, there are many reciprocal influences, and your job, before you even start asking the first question, or let's say project direction document, is make sure you know what how these four look.